Good morning and Merry Christmas. On this Christmas morning, I will be reading three different scriptures in celebration of the birth of Jesus. First of all, from Isaiah chapter 9, verses 6 and 7. For a child will be born to us, a son will be given to us, and the government will rest on his shoulders. And his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Eternal Father, Prince of Peace. There will be no end to the increase of his government or of peace on the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it and to uphold it with justice and righteousness from then on and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will accomplish this. That is the word of the Lord for the people of the Lord. Now, I told you that I wanted to read two other scriptures. These are prophecies. So these were written in the Old Testament before Jesus was born in Bethlehem. Here it is. Micah chapter 5, verses 2 and 3. But as for you, Bethlehem Ephratah, too little to be among the clans of Judah, from you one will go forth for me to be ruler in Israel. His goings forth are from long ago, from the days of eternity. Therefore, he will give them up until the time when she who is in labor has borne a child. Then the remainder of his brethren will return to the sons of Israel. The word of the Lord for the people of the Lord. Hallelujah. And finally, almost as a bookend, I just read from Micah, which predicted and prophesied the birth of Jesus in Bethlehem. Now here's a passage from Psalm 22. We're going to say, let's go from 11 to 18. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, for there is none to help. Many bulls have surrounded me. Strong bulls of Bashan have encircled me. They open wide their mouths at me as a ravening and a roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all of my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax. It is melted within me. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue cleaves to my jaws. And you lay me in the dust of death. For dogs have surrounded me. A band of evildoers has encompassed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. I can count all of my bones. They look, they stare at me. They divide my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. The word of the Lord for the people of the Lord. And if I may just comment on this particular prophecy. Psalm 22 describes a crucifixion. Everything from my bones are out of joint, my heart is like wax. A lot of people don't know it, but when one is crucified, they typically die of suffocation. They can't breathe. And all of the details of this particular crucifixion right down to the garments being separated and they cast lots for them. Those lots were cast by Roman soldiers. But the very interesting thing about this particular psalm, and while we don't know the exact, years between the writing of this and Jesus' crucifixion, because of the consistency of the eclipse, we know exactly when solar and lunar eclipses take place, and there are many, many examples of eclipses listed in the scriptures. And if you go to the NASA website, you can go all the way back through time and see when those particular eclipses took place. So we know roughly that this particular prophecy took place over 500 years before, not before Jesus was crucified, before crucifixion was ever mentioned or performed. Crucifixion didn't arrive on the scene for at least 500 years after this particular psalm had been written. Hallelujah. Thank you for your word, Lord.